This is 10 questions. We'll get the jackets. I'm in the basement. I'm wearing my jacket. I got Bram VanK on the line, producer from Rotterdam, fellow stablemate in the Dark City Music label. And this is 10 questions. First track up. What's the last track you listened to, not your own?
Viridium, Sun Hump, and then the 2006 remake by Richard Durand.
Nice. Favorite electronic track of all time?
The timing is excellent. It has to be Dark and Long from Underworld.
Whoa, yeah. It's
And
coming
they're
up to their
celebrating
anniversary,
their
knows
30
it?
years anniversary. So
How many years anniversary is it again?
30 years?
Whoa, yeah. Yeah, that's a classic. Best music show ever attended?
Well, it's the first actually I ever saw Prince Love Sexy in a big stadium.
Prince. Whoa.
Yeah, because I was so impressed by that guy playing all the instruments and being all over the place and not missing one note. And the funk in it, man, wow.
Where was that? Where was it on?
In Rotterdam in the football stadium. So
Whoa.
40,000 people.
Yeah. What is the
Giving
team there in Rotterdam? What's the team in Rotterdam again? It's
Feyenoord.
Feyenoord, yeah. Whoa.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
And the thing that really stuck to me in that concert was he played Purple Rain. He just sang the first chorus. Or refrein and couplet. But then he just jammed into a guitar solo of about 10 minutes. And I was like, wow, where can I get that version? And luckily, years later, there were recordings of it, and they broadcasted it on German television, and somebody ripped it from it, and so it came in the bootleg areas. It came available, so I have that concert where I was.
Is that on you? Is that on YouTube anywhere, Bram?
I have to look.
Yeah,
Could be.
If you find it,
that,
send it to me.
Yeah,
and I'll put it in the comments as a link.
Yeah, cool.
All right, your own track that you're most proud of?
Always the next one, but Take Me Home for me is kind of special because that's the first track I was really like. For me, the transition from the analog world to the digital world was completed with a quality I wanted to achieve, and the creativity fell in place.
Yeah, I messaged you about that song before too because that's my favorite track of yours too. I love that kind of just the emotion in that song. Is you captured something with that one. It's special.
Yeah, there's some mellow dramatic in it, but also, like I said, it's the first time that I really was satisfied with the digital production because I come from the analog realm back in the 2000s. So
Yeah. So just to segue, like, did you have a different artist name before back in the day?
I had several. I'm Funkstar Criminal. I'm the Groove Doctor. I'm Max Dion. I'm RB Fusion. I'm Bram VanK.
Holy hell, man, that's crazy. That's crazy. Which one was the most successful?
That depends on how you measure success.
That's fair, but which one?
On sales, I think it was the Groove Doctor, kind of what we now call Filter House or French House.
Mm-hmm.
But in exposure, it must be Funkstar Criminal Session, because Carl Cox played that record worldwide, and he named us in his top 10 in several top magazines about dance. So yeah, in exposure that was the most successful. But also my first release under Bram VanK, This Time I Rise, was picked up by Armin van Buuren. So
whoa,
they struggle for the first place.
Yeah. Different kind of different reasons why each of them was successful. Yeah, it's good. Yeah. And is your Funkstar Criminal stuff all on Spotify still?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So like it was, I guess everything's on there now. Like, but I'm just thinking if it was pre kind of Spotify blowing up, I guess everything transferred over. But that's good. I have to check that out, man. That's what I love about doing 10 questions. I learn things about people and I pick up different songs. You know, it sends me down rabbit holes then where I can kind of explore.
Yeah,
it's good.
Cool.
If you could collaborate with any artist, who would it be?
Joris Voorn.
Nice. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
The sound he makes is so typical Joris Voorn. It's techno, it's house, it's beautiful, it's progressive, it's melodic, it's moody.
Yeah.
I, yeah, whatever he does, it speaks to me. Even his not so prominent tracks, there's something in it that you say, "Wow, this is really touching," or getting to you. And he's broad. I've seen his development through the years. Wow.
Yeah, 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 yeah. No, he is really good. I've scratched the surface on him, like, but this is another one, like, where you saying that, like, would probably make me go deeper into his catalog and explore. But yeah, I see him a lot. Like, he's obviously known to be one of the kind of gatekeepers of like electronic music. But
Yeah,
that's a good. We're in he's Dutch too, isn't he?
yeah, he's Dutch. Yeah,
Nice.
proud.
I swear, there's a lot of Dutch guys, man.
Yeah,
There's something in the water over there, man, when it comes to making electronic music.
yeah. We inject dance.
Seems like it. Um. So yeah, if you could thank one person who helped you with your music, like it sounds like you've had a long career and there's probably multiple people and it's tough. But any person that you'd like to shout out?
Yeah, that has to be Raymond, my first production partner, because he's actually the one that invited me to make the crossover from just DJing to producing. So he showed me the ropes the first 2 years around, and he really took the time to take me in. I had zero production skills. I just had a musical feeling uh, and a direction I wanted to go in. And he wanted that direction because he came from the gabber, from the hardcore, and he wanted to switch to house music. So he invited me in, and we worked together for a few years, and he showed me the ropes. So I really have to be thankful for him for doing that.
Yeah, 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 yeah. No, that's huge because like he opened up a whole universe to you. Then, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and he broke my bank budget wise, because then you step into his studio and you want to start up building your own studio at home. And
Yeah, 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 yeah.
if you're interested, on my Instagram, if you scroll down, there are actually photos of me standing in my first studio at home with a
Ah, cool.
big analog mixer, 24 channels, 8 buses, Soundcraft studio stuff. Cool.
Jeez. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's crazy, man. Yeah. What's just I might let's just keep going with the order, but I have another question. You're making me ask more questions here.
Yeah.
So what's one ambition for the next 12 months?
I've been thinking about that one, and my main ambition is keep myself happy producing music, because I've been out of the business for a reason. In 2008, I shut the door to the business pretty firmly, because it wasn't my business anymore. Uh, um, you had to produce commercial mainstream stuff to get around, and you had to dance to the publishers and whatever they wanted. So, and I left the business because of that, and it made me unhappy, the choices I had to make that were against my own principles, my own taste, my own preferences. So this time around, it's about my preferences and my fun in it. So putting myself in ambitions, I have to have 1 million streams, or I have to do this, or I don't do that anymore. If it's fun, it's fun. If I make a track and I listen to it 100 times and I get 99 smiles from it, it's a hit for me. And if somebody else likes it, that's a bonus.
Yeah, yeah, no, you're right there.
Yeah.
That's a good answer. It's a good answer. Like when you took that break from 2008, like when did you pick it back up again?
Corona.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
well, there were some moments in between. Everybody was asking, why don't you do anything with that anymore? Why don't you produce? Why don't you DJ anymore? And then my normal job, my 9 to 5 job, so to speak, I made an anthem for an employee festival. So I downloaded the Ableton demo for 30 days for free. So that got me sort of into it again. That was 2019. And then a mate of me asked if I could produce a song for his son's end musical at school. I did that. And then again, people started asking, well, why don't you do anything with it? And then Corona hit. We were chased into our houses. And then I thought, yeah, well, if we have to remain indoors for I don't know how long, what am I going to do? My kids are playing around, and so I bought speakers. I bought actually Ableton, and I started to look into it again and started producing. And a friend of mine here heard from it, and he offered me to do a remix, which actually made me go back to releasing, which wasn't actually the plan. It just was for fun.
Yeah.
So Corona got me back into it, and but I have clear lines for myself in what I want to do with this time around. And like I said, it's about the fun and about the experience, and it has to be a happy joy thing, and not a must have or a you must do or
Yeah.
whatever.
No, it's good. It's good. I mean, good answer. Even for me, like I know you can talk about the numbers, and there's a lot of focus on the numbers and everything. And I think, to be honest, like for me, like I could get what I like the most as an example is I got a message from a buddy of mine, and like his brother sent him a picture of like a screenshot from his Spotify listening to one of my songs. Said, yeah, Liam's making dance music. I really like this song. That's the kind of thing that hits home for me. That someone I kind of know, like appreciate. I put something out there that someone appreciates.
Yeah.
Just one person. You know what I mean?
Well, it's like the comment you just gave on "Take Me Home" is for me worth a lot more than some anonymous stream somewhere, because you said there is a lot of emotion in the track, and you experience that emotion.
Yeah.
So that track transfers something that I put into it, and you receive it.
There you go, man. That's a good point. Like, yeah, it's I'm friends with N3UX too. Thomas.
Yeah.
And I was talking to him one day, and I chatted to him a bit, and we were talking, and I said, like some making music is tough. Sometimes you have a day like where you're not getting anywhere, nothing's coming, and but then there's a day comes when you just make something and you hear it right away. And I told him, sometimes he said the same. It's just something that makes you stand up immediately, and you could be on your own and you're dancing on your own, and you know that you've captured something, and like that's the magic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you might have to do like many days of not really catching something to capture that, and then like you said, you want to bottle that and just pass it to someone else so they can feel that same thing. It's that's one of the cool things. If you can. And we're kind of, I told him then, we're sort of like hunters. We're out there, we're hunting for that feeling. And some days we come back to the cave and there's nothing. You know what I mean? But then some days you come back and, you know what I mean? There's a kill, like, and you caught something, like, so.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's frustrating, but you have to have those days where where nothing happens to make the days when something happens special, kind of thing,
Yeah.
So
True.
anyway.
And that's also a part of the fun in it, chasing that next thing, that next few 16 bars that can make you go like, wow. And even if it's just me, that's like I said, if I have that party, that's my fun, and then I succeeded. And
I know.
I do like the joy of getting better in stuff. So actually the producing side, the production side, getting better in it, I like it, especially when you get reflected back that people are like recognizing, well, you've grown the last year.
Yeah, it's big. Like I try to, people ask me too, with the music, is there any money in Spotify and music? And I tell them, no, like there's not. Like
it's pouring
there's
money
that
in.
meme out there. There's that small pocket in your jeans, and that's the pocket for your Spotify money. And so, but I think what I compare, like what you said there, what I compare it to is like somebody who likes golf. They're not going to make the pro tour, but the feeling of going back to the course, getting their handicap down, looking at where they've come to, you know what I mean? That in itself is, fulfilling, I guess,
Yeah, and even then, that once or twice or three times in a lifetime hitting that eagle, the eagle is a pro top shot. So even producers on my level sometimes make a top shot, which then gets exposure somehow, and then the numbers come and the attention come. But going home with that feeling that you made the eagle is what for me is it all about.
Exactly.
And the
No,
audience stays back in the clubhouse, and in 2 weeks they have forgotten me. But I'll still remember. Oh, what's with the camera? I'll still remember that eagle.
yeah. Yeah, I went a bit blurry. That's okay.
Yeah.
No, that's good. So one music act we should watch out for in 2024.
Energy Live. That's a music friend of mine, an old music friend of mine, and he has a live act. It's actually a live act. Now he's found a singer again, so he's with their 2-person gig on the stage, and they're really developing their shows and their catalog, and they are achieving nice things. They had a nice gig at the Amsterdam Dance event, which was well received, and they're struggling to, with a normal job and a live show. A live show takes a lot of time, because he does the lighting, he does the audio, he does the music. So, but he's getting somewhere, and it's taking a form that I think that could take him somewhere. But respect for him that he's still trying.
Yeah, no, that's good, Bram. That's good. I'll link him up there in the description.
Yeah.
Go check him out. Yeah, live is no joke, man. Sometimes I look at that and that's tough, man. There's so much can go wrong too.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite YouTube channel? Like, just for honestly, it doesn't even have to be music. Like, where do you, if you ever go down a YouTube rabbit hole, like where or anything you're subscribed to that's good you want to kind of mention?
Yeah, for the music, I really like Leo's channel, Abstract Music, but I also are pretty much entertained by White Sea Studios, Witse, the Dutch guy, also talking about plugins and that kind of stuff. And the other rabbit hole I go down into is but then I'm jumping into question 10. And what's your other main hobby in life? And that's kite surfing. So I look at a lot of kite surfing videos, techniques, shows, whatever. The big guys like Kevin Langray and Mark Nicholson, all that kind of guy, Mark Jacobson. So that's what I look a lot at YouTube.
You got to find a way to like bring some decks on a kite. And do you ever see those DJs? They do crazy things. Like, I saw a guy paragliding with like decks strapped to his chest.
Yeah,
it's funny, man. But
well, for me, the music and kite surfing are really separate because it's totally different. But it's all about what they have in common is the mindset that you have to like. You can lose yourself in it.
Yeah, that's cool. I gotta check out kite surfing. I haven't really looked at it much. Send me a link to kite surfing, and maybe one of those pro guys, and I'll throw it in the description here. Anybody watching, you can check it out, and I'll check it out too.
I will.
So that is. So Bram, spoiler alert, Bram, you talked about question 10 there. Yeah. Favorite hobby outside of music?
Yeah, except of course I'm a family man, so my kids and my wife are priority 1, 2, and 3, and 3, 2, and 1. But kite surfing has been a part of my life since about 2006.
Yeah, it's cool.
But I've been kiting since the end of the 90s, because first I was driving those beach carts driven by, propelled by a kite on the beach. But then that sport started to evolve, and people start to show up on the water. And the water has one cool thing over the mainland, the third dimension, up, not just sideways and going ridiculously fast, because that's what we're doing. But these guys started jumping and stuff. So I made the switch, and since then it's a part of my life. It's not a hobby, it's a lifestyle.
It's crazy, man. Yeah, so you're on a board, and then you're being propelled forward by the kite. That's nuts.
Yeah, or up, not only forward but also up.
Yeah. Jeez, man, that's nuts. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Um.
it's so relaxing on the mind. You're in nature. You're enjoying the outdoors, the water, the wind. Um, Preferably the sun and the good temperatures. But in Holland it gets cold, and then you suit up really warm, and you just go do your thing. It's amazing. And every time I drive to the beach, my holiday feeling starts. And
Yeah. That's cool.
in the summer, I try to be at the beach every night, because of the long hours and the longer the daylight saving time
Yeah.
to catch any hour we can. In the winter,
How,
it's of course a bit less, but and it's
how far away is the beach from where you are in Rotterdam?
40-45 minutes.
Yeah, that's still a decent spin. Like,
Yeah,
still a decent spin, but
yeah, and
not
if
too
you do
bad.
it a lot, it grows on you, and you don't mind.
Yeah. I guess the reward is worth it. Like, you're going to your kind of happy place in a way. Like, you're going to have some kind of release
Yeah,
time kind of thing. That's
yeah,
cool. I love the water myself. Wish I lived closer to it. There's a lake in Toronto, but it's not the same. Like, I miss Ireland for that reason. Just
yeah,
can't beat the sound of waves crashing and the smell of the sea and the salt. It's good. But
yeah.
one question there, Bram. Oh yeah, so like one question before I ask you the what you're up to for the next year. You talked about the studio there. What in terms of like analog gear and stuff, like what's the piece of kind of outboard gear that you use the most these days?
Um, mm, they're my babies.
So you got the matriarch down low.
That's a matriarch. That's the Sub 47. That's the OB6, and that's the RD9 909 clone from Behringer.
Yeah,
Um, I think the Sub and the OB are the most used. I think
yeah.
in every track they play some part.
Nice. So
Yeah.
are you running MIDI from Ableton into the OB and then back into Ableton?
No, they're all connected separately. So I use I configured the matriarch as a keyboard. So uh, that's my main keyboard, and the rest everything is connected
Oh,
separately on MIDI and audio, so I can fully do anything.
so the matriarch can play the OB6 basically.
Yeah, because the OB6 doesn't have a keyboard, but
Yeah.
I also have that kind of stuff around here.
Yeah. So that's the thing. I got the baby brother of matriarch behind me here. You can see like I got the dark version too, the grandmother.
Grandmother, yeah, right.
But
Cool machine too.
but matriarch's good because you get those extra voices. I guess it's not just monophonic,
Yeah,
paraphonic, isn't it?
yeah. The only thing with it is that it doesn't save anything. And if you have two kids, they run into your studio and the deck saver is not on. I lose my sound because they start twitching the knobs.
I know, man. I've been there. I've been there too. I've been there too. I had to do some crazy stuff to get back to sounds on that thing. Like, yeah, it's tough. Even the automations and everything, like it's a one-time deal. Like, if you do if you're moving it by hand, that's it. Like you
Yeah,
cut it in or it's gone. Like, there's a beauty in that, but it's also painful in a way. Like going back to try and recapture it. Like,
yeah.
uh, a lot of people. I see a lot of people with the sub 37, but I have a classic old drum machine here. Actually, it's a Korg
Right.
EM
Yeah,
EM1. Like, have you seen those before? It's the original Electroid.
yeah, yeah. I had because I started producing in about 1998. I had the fortunate experience with a lot of classic synthesizers back then. I even
Yeah.
had them in my own studio. I sold everything. I
Jeez,
had
man.
the Roland GV 2080, the 8080, the Juno 106. I all sold it.
Oh man, I wish you could. I bet you regret that decision.
No, I don't regret, because at that moment in my life they were just hanging there doing nothing, and they
Yeah,
would have done for over 12 years.
yeah.
So no,
At
I
least
even
someone got
sold
something
my.
out of them anyway.
Yeah, I had a record collection. I was a DJ, so I had a big record collection. Sold them all. Everybody, oh, I said, yeah, well, if I want the music, it's still available. And, okay, I don't have those shiny black vinyls anymore, but for me, there were tools. And at that time in my life, it was just catching dust. So
Yeah. No, that
don't
makes sense.
regret the things you did. Only regret the things you didn't do.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's good advice. What can people look forward to for the next months, the next year? Like what do you have going on even
Well,
right now?
actually, at the moment, last Friday, the 26th of January, the remixes came out of my Take Me Home, which I'm very proud of because I got Paul Hamilton and Inessa to remix them, part one. And there we had quite a good start. It started showing up in the Beatport charts already after one day, so I was pretty content with that. And in the best hype January, so wow. And the good thing is there's a part 2 coming also and a part 3 also. Part 2 of the remixes by Paul Losevi of Losef. I always struggle with his last name. And Dietrioch are coming out in March. And then the latest from FL Focus isn't planned yet. So the label really got some nice people to remix it. So,
Yeah, that is good. Whoa. Yeah, that is good. I mean, geez, they're really it's good when the label like puts a lot of effort into it too, because it makes the release the best it can be, I guess, in a way.
yeah. And the funny thing is, the label arranged Paul Hamilton for me, and then I said, "Can we ask Inessa?" And then he said, "She never says yes." So I asked, and she said yes. So I got the. How did you do that? I just asked.
Yeah, it's true, isn't it?
Funny thing.
Sometimes it's
Yeah,
that easy.
yeah. And in February, I'm pretty proud of that as well. There's a release coming out with 2 tracks and a remix, a solo track of mine, Turn to Turn, a collaboration track with Abby 8K from the UK, and a remix of my Turn to Turn on, and that's what I'm proud of, on Cinematic. That's a label in the manual music stable, which for me is a quality label. If they say your product or your production is good enough to be released with them, you know you have evolved from the bedroom producer entering the digital realm to a maturity level which is a a grade.
Yeah, that's big. That's big. That's another, going back to what you said earlier about like success or progression. You know what I mean? That's a big one. I mean,
Yeah.
knowing that you're at a level with music that's at that same level, that's an achievement. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's good, Ram. Appreciate that. So that's it for the longer version. This is the best longer version I did so far. I'm definitely going to put this one on YouTube
Thank you.
because I think there's some good insight there for people just to listen to in general.